Hello, this is Swift, bringing you a video that I don't even know how to properly start, so let's just get into it. We've got Shoulder Mount, playing as the Mekboy, this beefy little... Actually, he's not really beefy, is he? He's sort of this... He's got thick arms, but he's got tiny little backside. I did just say that. And then we got the Farseer, played by Adila, with this disgusting colour scheme. But whatever, Adila, you do you. And then we've got, ooh, who's this? This very sexual human being is playing as the Lord General. And this fancy orange. And playing as the Lord General. That's the name of the guy. Then we have sneaky Bruce Campbell, playing as the K-Nob, full of guns and bombs and explosive stuff and knives and typically kind of unorky. We have Morgan, or Adeptus Nubis, depending on what you know him by, playing as this Heinz Beans Head Force Commander. You could probably fit a lot of tomato soup in that can. And then we have the Man of Ass, the Ass Man, also known as Hunter, playing as this big Hive Tyrant lizard bug creature. Now, I'm casting this game really because Hunter is refusing to cast it, and to me that's unacceptable. So I feel like everyone's got to see it, and Indrid won't cast it, Maestro won't cast it, Hunter won't cast it, Hunter won't cast anything, to be honest. So yeah, why not give this a go? This cast is going to be nice and rough, but if you've seen my streams then you know that basically I don't really do anything right. So yeah. Okay, not being forced off pretty brutally here. Speaking of brutal, Brutus Shooter Boys almost going down in that exchange. Orc mirrors are always quite fun, and having an Orc mirror down here on the bottom means we're going to get a lot of Orky action, not a lot of lane swapping going on. Though he is keeping these sluggers in quite long. He really thinks that he can get a lot of value out of it, and he's not wrong. It's not like splitting there would even have done that much. I guess if Shoulder had reacted slightly faster and used aiming, what's that? He might have done alright, but there's some Space Marines floating around here from Morgan. And it looks like Bruce is going to go straight for the power, and why not? It's completely uncontested at the moment. We've got the Mekboy, who's probably going to try and tie up. Though having said that, I didn't realise how close Adila was. And he only gets about 300 HP off that gen. In the meantime, Shoulder's progress is being slightly pushed back, taken away as Bruce comes in and steals some of the land back. But this Mekboy is going to be a bit of a nuisance hiding in the green cover until he gets some bolt guns up his bum. Slightly yikes for him. Meanwhile, Adila's Eldar are gliding around. Someone's doing the moonwalk. But in general, Bruce is really committing hard with 3 shooters, all with big shooters, so there's a lot of piercing damage out early on. Shoulder Mount going for the slightly more conventional double shooter, with both the knob leader and the shooter upgrade. But this is a hard commit here from the red team, and Adila is not quite prepared for it. Bit of a tango around this central fire pit thing. Ravener's taking a little bit more damage. There's ASM getting in nicely there. Ooh, that is Doombringer on the Farseer, so they do have to be a little bit careful. Got no energy now. That Mekboy's dangerously close to going down, but he will be fine. And here comes the top play from this Swift guy. Absolutely brilliant. Gets an ASM model there. And you'll notice double catters, pro strats. if you've ever seen him, you know, pretty pro. He doesn't play very often, you see, this Swift guy, because he's afraid that he'll pass on his pro strats to too many people and completely break the meta. He's very humble like that. Okay, no, I'm still trying to cause some problems here. He's throwing down a stun bomb, but I'm really not sure what he's trying to accomplish with this. Like, does he think he can get a model? He might be able to if he can. He does. He's managed to get one. Doom goes onto him and then he goes out, so I guess if that was worth it. He got one Dire Avenger model. So that's cute. Sneaky bomb set up here, but Hunter's going to spot it because, well, warriors. And it's not looking so good on this side. These double Raveners are definitely going to make this quite difficult, but they do have to watch out for the power melee of those Catachans. More Orc on Orc action over here. Painboy out actually for shoulder mount, which is not so bad. Very sneaky move here by Bruce, forcing off the what the hell are they called? Guardian Weapons team. And actually Red team making a really nice push over here. The Zuggers do finally get forced off, and Doom on these ASM means it's going to be tough. And completely wiped by the double nade spike from Adila. Really nice bait there. As Morgan points out, she baited. But Adila also is going to have to be similarly careful with his own units here. They will be fine. Force Commander gets a nice little sync kill on that Dire Avenger. And the gate goes down. Kind of a bit of an odd gate really right there. Like you're going to find that there's a lot of stuff going through that part, so it seems a bit odd. And what am I planning here? I don't think I put down any demos there, so put down one there. So maybe I'm gonna try and put one in retreat path? I honestly don't remember. I think that's my plan. These Sluggers really not doing very well, even with the Painboy support. These guys actually suppressed from behind the wall because of the one little guy who stood there. And then the AoE suppression kind of hit them all. Amazingly though, Bruce not forced off here, which is quite impressive considering just how much health he's on. Okay, could have them go down. Oh, could be a clutch shotgun blast, unless I'm paying attention. I am paying attention. Okay, I do pick them up on retreat. Sugger's in the meanwhile trying to act some revenge on these guys, but no luck so far. Hunter's Tyranids still being pretty dominant on this right side. They've already gone for one power bash. Looks like they're going to be going for another pretty heavy power bash, and with only guardsmen to really defend against this, it's going to be tough. And of course I'm floating way too much requisition, because what the hell am I doing? Rangers coming over, just take a couple of pot shots at the warriors. Killing a model would be pretty useful right here, but it's not very likely, and these guardsmen are just kind of wasting their time. I don't remember if there's any friendly fire from that Barbed Strangler, but I don't think there is. But there might be like a small, like 0.1 or something. Meanwhile though, Hunter absolutely tearing down this gen farm with the Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant. Probably expecting a Chimera because, well, IG is kind of what you get in these kinds of attrition battles, but with these pro strats, these Catachans are, well, they're doing something. Not sure if it's the best thing. Got grenade launchers. No sign of a medical sergeant so far, which would be really useful against this Barbed Strangler. But otherwise Hunter's forced off, and what is this? Some cheeky Razorback plays. Focusing down, well, that IED, but we're focusing down this Farseer who's got the runes of reaping. Fortune and Doom, I believe. Yeah, Armour of Fortune. And looks like this Mekboy is being very sneaky. What is going on here? Bruce once again pushing hard into Shoulders territory. He's really struggling to deal with the aggression. It does help now that there isn't a third shooter squad for Bruce, but it's just a playstyle, you know. It's Shoulder is someone who very much likes to swarm you, but when hit by that early aggression, he's really been on the back foot despite having more units. And in part, it's definitely the way that Morgan and Bruce have played together. They've really covered for weaknesses in their composition. And you can also blob cap like that, which tends not to help. Kind of weird. Brightlance being chased around by this teleporter force commander. It's kind of something we've seen all game. This Guardian Weapons team has just been shut down every possible turn. And it looks like it's, well, shut down forever. Is this going to be a sneaky kill on the Razorback? We'll see. Could be. Quick doom coming out from Adila, and down it goes. Did it have units inside? I guess we'll find out. This out of control is really taking a while. He thinks there's something inside, but no. Not quite. But he does wait for the out of control, which is quite an important thing to do, because those units will pop out at the end. And in the meantime, Hunter decides he's going to come back from abusing this gen farm on the top side and start abusing some Eldar instead, because Eldar make much more satisfying sounds. And I say that just as those poor Rangers got their bones snapped by those great big beefy Raveners. Meanwhile, anti-suppression armor for the Lord General. There is a medical sergeant, but these guys don't seem to have a medipack. Or no, they do. I just forgot to use it. Okay. Hunter, though, in the meantime, shut down. He's doing a very decent job of hurting the economy on top side, but these Catachan Devils are kind of proving to be a decent match for those Raveners. Actually, they will bleed a bit more, just given the model count, but otherwise, doing a decent job. Shooters taking down this power farm, and sneakiness halted here. Adila does cast Fortune on them, but it's just a bit too much to deal with there. Would have been much better if they'd been saved. Death Dread really going in heavy. There's obviously plasma cannon damage on this weird boy, but it shouldn't be enough. Now Vengeance rounds going off. Nice little foot of Gork there on those shooters, and does a huge amount of damage to them, even in retreat. Was Kommando going to try and finish things off, but there's a las cannon here with For the Emperor, I think, cast on it. And this Death Dread is kind of looking like it's going to struggle. Adila's calling down an Autarch in an attempt to save it, but he might accidentally kill. He actually does do some friendly fire to that Death Dread, but even without that, las cannon would probably have finished it off. So slightly unfortunate, but doom down here, and suddenly these red units, they killed that Death Dread, but the shooters are going down. Kind of lucky not to lose both squads of shooters in that case. Oh, it's not looking good for the Kommando knob. They'll probably be fine, and I'm wrong. Okay, rip Bruce, whose composition is suddenly looking a little bit ill. A little bit sick. Needs to get some Calpol for that composition. Raveners charge forward, but it's slightly too early. Not really sure who would win in this case, because there's a lot of synapse going on for the Raveners here. But there are a lot of AoE buffs the Lord General can put out for his men here. Probably the Tyranids, just due to the disruption and that bioplasma. But what is going on down here? Absolutely insane. Switching out to the Dragon's Breath Flamer here, actually, which I feel like they were only on to bash power, because it's not going to do as well versus those Stern Guard. But he's actually going to lose them in retreat. That was so unfortunate, getting hit by that Scout Grenade and then finished off by the Stern Guard. Nice little weird boy shot hits those shooters and forces them to retreat. And what is that? Is that Terminators? Yes, it is. Range Terminators. Which is not such a bad choice, really. There's a lot of stuff that can be dealt with piercing damage. So I wonder what upgrade he's going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the assault cannon. I don't remember what he gets, actually. Meanwhile, Khan effects are out, and this is going to be kind of tricky because these stormtroopers are being forced off, and oh no, not forced off, just on 3 models, not doing too much. So really, at the moment, I'm relying on the melter guns from these guys, which, as you can see, not doing a huge amount of damage. Meanwhile, Hunter's army moves up to support. And what is going on over here? Adila getting super aggressive with his Autark and those Dire Avengers. I keep wanting to say Guardians. They're not Guardians. She goes in for a little leap, which is kind of weird looking, given that she doesn't have any wings. So, I don't know. Make of that what you will. Hunter pushing up. He's probably going to get those guys in retreat. Unless he's really unlucky. Okay, he's really unlucky. I guess we know that about Hunter now. Las Cannon actually looked like it almost got a direct shot there. Ah yeah, Assault Cannon out here for Morgan's Terminators. And that's going to absolutely tear through these Eldar. Nice little pickup getting a 3rd model on them, but this Autark is just so careless right now. Hunter might be able to intercept, but it's unlikely that he'd actually be able to get the kill. The warriors are the closest thing. Looks like I've forgotten about these guardsmen and where they're going. Classic. And Hunter is being kind of dangerous right now. He's going in for something sneaky, and I have a feeling this is probably why Indrid never wanted to cast this game. Because the brood nest goes up right next to the base. And, well, I think we all know where this is going. I certainly do. Orks tearing down this power farm. Bruce Campbell continuing his aggression with the purchase of this battle wagon. And I think it was Toil who said that the battle wagon is the best unit in the game. And, well, when the composition is right for it and, you know, the situations are right, I can't really disagree with him necessarily. It's such an entertaining unit to use. It's a little bit of an odd one. It certainly requires you to already be slightly on the front foot to make full use of it, but in cases like this where enemies just blob up, there is so much damage you can do with it, and you really just can't catch it. It is insanely fast. Of course, you can't reinforce from it, but it's not really a big problem when you're playing as Orks and, you know, you can just drive at like speed 15 to your base. Nice little mega boom shot. Would have been really, really nasty if it had connected, but doesn't quite. Big infantry compositions here from blue team, actually. And as you can see, base kind of suffering. I'm trying to repair. I could probably be using these guys to fight this stuff. I don't know why I'm not. These katas are doing what exactly? I really don't remember what the hell I was doing with this stuff. I should have been getting Hunter off my backside. And I remember I'm just producing guardsmen at this point just to repair. I'm shouting at Adila to repair my base. And yeah, really not helping myself with this play down here. But what can you do, huh? You play with an idiot, you expect them to act like an idiot. Rocket run goes off, but it takes such a long time to go down, and it doesn't quite connect the way that I'd like it to. Honestly, it takes a lot longer to go down than I expected. Didn't realise that it would take that long. But even with these triple repairs on the base, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to save it. 600 HP. These stormtroopers kind of running away, scared from this Hive Tyrant. Probably not going to get the kill here. Hive Tyrant actually taking damage from the base heavy bolters, which is really rare. You just don't see that. But it is enough to take it down, and you know, suddenly an extra guard squad later and it's not quite enough. Tyrant formation was a last little ditch effort there from Hunter. It wasn't really necessary. Those guys were going to get away anyway. It seemed like he just wanted to use it to try and catch the blob. But it was just a bit too late. And now I have an army full of infantry that can't even reinforce. So, well done. In the meantime, Bruce Campbell's battle wagon is laying waste to the left side. He's managed to cap both the VP and the wreck point. These guys must be level 4 at this point. Only level 3! Wow. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like they've done a lot of work. This poor pain boy is gonna go down. Yeah, he gets sniped at the end by the zap gun on the battle wagon. And a nice mega boom shot there from that battle wagon. Absolutely lays waste to that composition. I think I said competition. That would be wrong. That's kind of making it away somehow. Very strange there. I would have thought there'd be a bit more damage placed on it, but he only had the Farseer going after it by the looks of it. Tyrant guard coming in, which is kind of... I assume this was called in from the base, but kind of a weird purchase at this point because he's got money. Like, if he hadn't purchased that, he would have had enough for Arcane effects again, or even if he wanted to wait, he could have got a Swarm Lord, although probably wouldn't have been so useful. But at least get Arcane effects. I guess he's probably figuring that there's a lot of melter damage going around right now. Still seems like a strange choice. Even like a tier 3 lictor would have been better. I wonder if Hunter just wanted to get something out quickly and then worry about the consequences later, but it does strike me as a bit of a strange one. Still, these Stern Guard have been doing an absolute number on everything. They're level 3 at this point, and been getting away with just a tiny amount of health every single fight. Classic Space Marines, 3 models, 250 HP. Time Field coming down. Autark running in alongside the Farseer. Farseer level 6, which has been doing very nicely this game. Autark only just levels up to level 2. I feel like I've seen her in fights quite a lot, but just maybe she hasn't been doing quite as much as I thought. What's going on over here? Battle Wagon is pretty much staking its claim to this side. And here goes my blob of infantry alongside Adila's. I currently don't really have a way to reinforce. I can buy the Vox Operator, but the problem is I don't actually have enough requisition, I don't think, to... Yeah, I can buy her, but I don't have enough requisition for the ability. I need 150 or 100 rec. So every model that I bleed is a problem. But then, I guess you deserve that if you lose your base in a 3v3 game. Sluggers not really able to make much progress on this side. Not really sure what Shoulder's thinking of just marching them in alone like that. Bruce's flash gets making a bit of an impact there. Looted tank certainly does feel like a decent choice at this point. It's gonna really destroy those flash kits. And even the las cannon now is shooting at this power. This poor power, if it hasn't suffered enough this game. Terrible. And the announcer is really pissed off about it as well. IED gets spotted but shot down quickly. Kind of a strange choice by Bruce there to be laying IEDs this late into the game. Wasn't sure if he was laying them any earlier, but here we are. Looted tank would be doing a lot better if it could get in closer. There's really not that much in the way of anti-vehicle at this point. Like, I don't think he realises that the las cannon's not on this side, and really all there is those stern guard. But still, you know, with the omniscient caster view, you kind of know these things better than the players do at the time. Unless they're map hacking. And if they're map hacking, then, well, they know. Sluggers, again, really low on models. Looks like they're just here to repair, but he seems to be using them to cap quite a lot, which is kind of dangerous because they are his only repair unit at the moment because his mech is dead. He's going in for some weird path block, it looks like, on that battle wagon, but the battle wagon would probably outdamage it, and even without the battle wagon's damage, this K-Nob is just going to kill it. It seemed very strange. It was almost like he was trying to hide from the las cannon. Really sure what was going on there. Battle wagon, in the meanwhile, does have to kind of get out, but Avatar from Adila has already used its Wailing Doom, so it's not like he can disrupt this wedge of Marines. Look at all that work that it's doing, just completely immovable. Meanwhile, these Katas are maybe going to finish off those warriors. Maybe? Yes, they finally actually kill the warriors. God, it's been so long. But one of the Kata squads does go down, and I have a feeling that these Raveners are level 4. Of course they are. Even the Venom Brood's nearly level 4. Wow. But a triple cap nonetheless. Managed to get that sneaky cap down there, and red team are forcing the blue team off here, but maybe not for long enough. Even without a base, there's a lot we can do to defend this VP, and not a lot that Hunter has to be able to cap it right now. Even with the cap down there, they have to make sure that they can cement their position here, and Morgan needs to be moving his Land Raider further up. Like, really needs to be moving it further up right now. But is it too little, too late? And yes, that's it. Even with the base kill. Even with the base kill. That's it. GG, blue team and red team. And I'd like to make a quick little shout out to Shoulder and Adila for carrying my baseless self. They did pretty well. I kind of sucked. But it was a fun game nonetheless. Alright, I'll see you all later.